Hello everyone, I am Assistant Professor Yasvi Shejare from Agricultural Engineering Department, and this is the second part of lecture number 8 from GE 206. Okay. Now the first point is that role of light. What is the role of light in case of greenhouse? Okay, light energy, then carbon dioxide and water all enters in the process of photosynthesis. We know that through which carbohydrates are formed. Okay, and the production of carbohydrates from carbon dioxides and water in the presence of chlorophyll using the light energy. Okay, and is responsible for the plant growth and reproduction. Now the rate of photosynthesis is governed by available fertilizers, then elements, then water, carbon dioxide, light and temperature. Okay, on all these factors are responsible for the rate of photosynthesis. Okay, now greenhouse crops are subjected to the light intensities varying from 129.6 kilolux on clear summer days to 3.2 kilolux on cloudy winter days. Okay, now the lux is the unit of the light intensity. Okay, then next, role of ventilation. Okay, a greenhouse is ventilated for either reducing the temperature of the greenhouse air, or for replacing carbon dioxide supplies, or for moderating the relative humidity of the air. Okay, for all of this ventilation is required. Okay, now air temperature above the 35 degrees Celsius are generally not suited to the crops in the greenhouse. Okay, so to maintain the temperature, ventilation is needed. Now the ventilation in the greenhouse can either be natural or forced, and in case of small greenhouse, natural ventilation can be quite effective during the spring and autumn seasons. Okay, now the next point is that effect of temperature. All crops have particular temperature range in which they will grow better. Okay, so below this range, plant process stops due to ice formation. Okay, if the temperature is higher than the required range, then enzymatic activity stops, and again enzymes controlled process is required for live seeds. Okay, so GH crops or greenhouse crops grown at a day temperature of about 3 degree Celsius to 6 degree Celsius higher than temperature on cloudy days, and 8 degrees Celsius higher on clear days. Okay, then with carbon dioxide enrichment, day temperature may be higher by 3 degrees Celsius. Okay, night temperature of the greenhouse crops that lies between 7 degrees Celsius to 21 degrees Celsius, and flowering plants like primula, matthiola, then calceolaria grow best at 7 degrees Celsius. Okay, then carnation and cineraria that grows at about 10 degrees Celsius and rose at 16 degrees Celsius, etc. Okay, now these are some flowering plants. This is the primula, then matthiola. Okay, then after that, this is calceolaria, this is carnation, and this is cineraria. Okay, now the next point is that light intensity. The light intensity is measured by the international unit known as lux. Okay, this is important sentence. Greenhouse crops are subjected to the light intensities varying from 129.6 kilolux on clear summer days to 3.2 kilolux on cloudy winter days. For the most of the crops, neither condition is ideal. Okay, now many crops become light saturated. In other words, photosynthesis does not increase at the light intensities higher than 32.3 kilolux. Okay, then rose and carnation plants will grow well under full summer light intensities, and for most of the other crops, foliage is deeper green. If the greenhouse is shaded to the extent of about 40% from the mid spring, that is May to mid fall, So it means that for the most of other crops, foliage found deeper green if the greenhouse is shaded to extent of about 40% from the mid spring, that is May to mid fall, August and September. Okay. Then relative humidity. In order to maintain desirable relative humidity levels in the greenhouse, processes like humidification or dehumidification are carried out for most of the crops to the acceptable range. Okay. Now humidifications means addition of the relative humidity in the greenhouse, and dehumidification means removal of the moisture or humidity from the greenhouse. Okay. Then for the most of the crops, the acceptable range of the relative humidity, that is between 50 to 80%. Okay. However, for the plants propagation work, then relative humidity up to 90% may be desirable. Okay, for the plant propagation. Then in summers, due to sensible heat addition in daytime, and in winters for increasing the nighttime temperature of the greenhouse air, more sensible heat is added that causes a reduction in relative humidity of the air. Okay. For the purpose of maintaining relative humidity levels, evaporative cooling pads, then fogging systems of humidification are employed. And when the relative humidity is on a higher side, ventilators, then chemical dehumidifiers and cooling coils are used for the dehumidification. Okay. Now the last point, that is carbon dioxide. Carbon is an essential plant nutrient which is present in a greater quantity than any other nutrient in the plant. Okay, and about 40% of dry matter of the plant is composed of carbon, and carbon dioxide gas in the air is the important source of carbon to the plants. Okay. So under normal conditions, CO2 exists as a gas in the atmosphere slightly about 0.03% or 345 ppm. Okay. Then during the daytime, when photosynthesis occur under the natural light, the plants in a greenhouse draw down the level of about CO2 to below 200 ppm. Okay, during the daytime, and under this circumstance, infiltration or ventilation increases CO2 levels, where the outside air is brought to maintain the CO2 at ambient levels. Okay, so here this part is completed. So thank you for listening.